Sorry about that. The fucking power cable bloody fell out. And I tried to save the video, but it didn't work, so it's gonna have to be 2 part 40s since yeah. Where's the picture? No. That's done. Let's just fucking get this over and done with. That's just generally annoyed me, that is. I need to figure out, do I need to watch this all over again? Or not?
Both parties have returned to their positions.
Oh, thank God.
Let us continue the trial.
Let me just get my streaming up on my phone so I could check the chat. Give my sister, but good God, hello. Hello.
When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention...
Brat.
At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify the person's statement. Use the evidence and clues to obtain during identification to refute any use your oh God. Fucking hell.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
God damn the fucking spiders. What?
He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
The vase that big will definitely kill her, not knock her out, kill her.
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
These dumbasses are crawling on the floor awfully fast. Well, obviously they would do that.
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Shut up, you damn brat.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
Yes, Jeff.
Key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linney experienced and what he saw.
Okay, so Nina's actions the tunnel as the countdown began. Then he claims that he headed to the chamber containing ultras and did not witness the crime. No one left the upper house. Claims to hear the mysterious within the chamber.
Seems...
No. Oh, it's the last one.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal.
What? It says none of these then. Oh. The Lounge Sun. Right.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Knocked Halsey out using the vase. So Linny knocked Halsey out using the vase. I removed her clothes to prevent her from being identified. However, Linny was really in the tunnel. Linny claims to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber. The clothes belonged to Halsey. The message were found, so the reason must have been no.
See,
During special performance,
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
how often? So the latter knocked him out with a vase, leading to the victim's death. The existing evidence indicates that when they returned to the tunnel, the crowd had to No.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
Oh. Yeah, baby!
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in predictable fashion. However, you saw that.
If that's the case, then if Carol hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your
how
claims?
you feel? Do you happen to remember?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has now become my weapon. Your claim has. Alright. Irrelevant, right. Irrelevant. Half-Stays Miss Page, she's a famous painter and came to watch a magic show in order to take a break from her creator. She's irrelevant. No one left the opera house during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had. And during his switching performance, there was an awful fun. Which is the evidence that Lenny was. So it's got strange sound for the enhancement. Which is that? Wasn't internal.
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
Ah.
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was. Select the gear icons in the interface to check the corresponding cases. Select answers and fill all the empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another the guard's investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of how it ignited and burned through the rope suspended in the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Captain Blood. If Lenin is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the troops. Lenny gave detailed account how the trick was how it's supposed to work by using the box inside of a box. The idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Lenny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of on-stage interactions. The clothes belonged to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in a toilet. The reason for the remains unknown. Select any. Who is he? Who was the only person who could have committed a crime?
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Why is it?
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
View key
No
information.
one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Cal's plan switching inside to know how can we advise Linnaeus?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
This is actually quite hard, you know.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Where did the missing Halsey go?
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrance. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
Right. So that is correct.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. It would have been tough for both people to fit. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the No one entered or left the opera house. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the
What? Fuck!
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances, It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered or left.
Oh, wow.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing halls. It would have been tough for both people to... It would have been tough for both... It would have been tough for both... It would have been tough for both... The sound we heard may have come from a clap.
The criminal must have understood the methods behind Linny's magic trick and leaving aside how he died, Carol had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could likely have been the sound of Carol. Gun. Been in full view in other granted.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Whenever.
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff.
Hello.
And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Wait, it could have been the water.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents. But do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Oh, we've got 2 left.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Where did the missing Howley go?
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water...
Oh, Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
And how annoying you are.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
You heard the man, woman.
This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
I think not.
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
This is getting exciting.
If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
The liquid the gods found the colors seems to be...
The deceased's name is
What item did the culprit use to control the tunnel?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
What item did the culprit use to control the tunnel?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. The rope that strung the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and cut. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Now it seems like the hook rope...
What item did you...
The water from the primordial...
What item did the culprit use to hide the missing bear? Oh shit!
The rope that strung the... I remember there was something else.
Oh. This man, I think chat has been goofy. Hold on, let me do... Right. Right. I reload the stream. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 messages. You alright? Hmm?
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Boom!
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence.
Oh.
I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Go on.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale.
Ah, shit.
Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move... excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
My friend sent me something, I'm just gonna check it out real quick. So I'm gonna mute myself. Wow! I have legit just been rickrolled. Great.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linney, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
Oh.
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
Oh. Now you gotta do the click. Oh,
and voila.
what the fuck?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
What
to be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial.
What the
I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
Wait.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Wait, she was the mastermind behind all
Where
this?
should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief! Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me.
Why are the twins sleeping
He even
downstairs?
mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
In there.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. She literally... Oh my god, woman. Lily entered the tunnel after the beginning of the countdown. Afterwards, he used the ventilation shaft to leave the tunnel and did not possibly dissolve an old woman. Nope. Okay. So it's none of these then. Yeah, right, it can't be that one. Oh, fucking hell. Slap them to dissolve. I guess in this one, oh wait.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was...
Oh!
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
No, that one's a bus. That one's a bus. Oh!
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but
Get
was
off
a
the floor.
thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. She would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
Why didn't she get
She had
hungry
already
then?
become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Boom. We won.
Now then,
Bitch.
Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Nope.
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box, and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise.
This is box.
Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Red-handed.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
Wait, so the missing women... Oh shit.
And now he can no longer talk.
Oh
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
So, we're just going back now?
The dead. The problem isn't resolved.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
He dead.
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
That's how... Otats. Otats. That's a weird name. Otat's father.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
She? Isn't she a mother then, not a father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story?
Oh.
It's about my past.
Story
Back
time?
when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
Oh dear.
Doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Missing girls!
Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
Oh.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's alright, I understand.
Hello.
The only thing I can do is relate all this to you.
Hello, 570.
I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Oh, it's a Pyro. Oh. Pyro? Yeah, Pyro, yeah. A twist of great magic. Yay, 5 Pyro. Alright, how many have I got now? 48. That is not enough. That is not enough. Alright, how many does I have left? I have 67 till I get a bunch. You son of a bitch. Wait, I've already got the horns. What was that I needed? Hold on. Leave the upper house. Oh, it's not crafted. Did prophecy happen? Well, story. We have just finished the what was it called again? the trial of a murder. So the prophecy hasn't happened yet. I mean, in any case, who wields a regular sword? Oh, so I've still got 2 spares then. Damn. Is that when you first met me? I'm pretty sure. Any? Nope.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Wait, she's actually a good guy? Oh.
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Yes. T?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah.
Oh, come on, don't be like this. Come on. We need to.
Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all.
Come on, Navia helped us. Can't we just help her?
Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Oh, she gave us tea. She gave us some sweets. She's got Gandalf, for Christ's sakes. She's got Gandalf with her.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
Come on, change your mind. Come on, let's change your mind.
It's like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Fair enough.
Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navi is treating, kill Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful! In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Okay. Are you having nightmares or something?
Oh my. Everything down here was already gone. It's way cold. It's way too hot. The shell kind of.
Commission. Oh, good God, that's quite a lot.
The video's too trash.
I got my face cam on, so be careful.
Talking about these videos the first like that.
God.
You look like
Oh, clear. Oh, gotta clear my walls. God damn it. Send me to 14. Nope. What do you do? What?
Just menu though.
Probably around 10. Yeah, probably around 10 I'll be done. Oh, leveled up. Sweet. Yeah, I'm on adventure rank 43. 128. Oh, damn, so close. Wait, am I missing some messengers or some shit? No, I'm not.
No, the other one. Because imagine this one falls down and then use that magnet.
Tom messages, what? God damn it. 53. Hold on. Whatever. Can't just like quickly just, you know, claim my... Ah, here it is. Just need to claim our rewards. Yeah, thought so. Just need to claim them. Just need to get them claimed, otherwise I'll forget, which I don't want to.
Ad Astra.
Yeah, I don't get what you're gonna
Thank you
say.
for complete.
Maybe Genji is going like that since he's being caught. Ah.
Ad Astra Abyss.
What do I get? Oh, who are you? Nobody's best. Wait, get out. Wait. Oh. I'll claim it. 50,000, Jesus Christ. Love it. No, I don't. Oh. No, I had to turn my face cam off because you kept getting in the whatever. Anyways, I'm on level 80. Level 80. Oh fuck. Wait, what? Adventure reward. Oh. Need 2. Damn it. But what about later on? So close, but yeah, so far. This actually quite good progress. Anyways. Fuck. Trying to see if Ginger's. Oh yeah. Is that this one, isn't it? What else did the radio demon would say? Fuck. I killed a bird. I just hear people talking. Would it be after the entire Archon quest? Or... Why is open in this? Unfortunately, no. Oh, good. Maybe it's after the entire Archon quest. Nah. Are you sure about that? Because it could be, you know. Maybe they're taking it out. It just got way before the Archon quest. Let's finish.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
Of course she is.
Well, in that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Is that lasagna?
Of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Oh god.
Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Especially with that lasagna. God, they're gonna get stomach
Speaking of
aches.
cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Oh, do you reckon the guy just changes gender to water?
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
It was Jeff.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
We want to ask the Hydra for some information.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah.
Shame.
We've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play, don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
Totally not creepy like the boogeyman.
I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Yeah, okay.
All right, no more joking around. Huh. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
Bruh, I got fish and chips.
You mean that if we catch her while she's
on
a
break,
break,
are you two doing?
she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after the spiel? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Fanta? You mean Fanta?
Right. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Fanta, not Fanta.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Ah, God.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try walking now.
Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Doritos.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority.
Rip off Fanta indeed.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
The rip off. Oh, light. That's light rain falls without reason. I'm just gonna fucking end this it right here. Getting too tired. Don't know what the fuck you three are doing. Being weirdos. I'm gonna bug off now. No, too late. Ta-ta.